Hey guys, Matt James coming at you from beautiful Northeast Florida. A little bit late this week. I apologize for that. If you've been following my blog, you know that just a couple of days ago, it's Monday afternoon. On Friday, I had surgery on my right knee for a torn meniscus. So I'm sitting here. I'm going to a post-operative appointment in just a little while. Almost my entire leg is wrapped up. It's been kind of crazy. I seem to be doing really, really well. I'm walking on the leg, and I'm hoping to get all this wrapping and everything off today, and maybe just be down to a small brace or something like that, and then it's time to get back to work and get the knee back 100%. So my apologies for being a little bit late with this post. We've been talking about mindset, and I'm going to finish this thing up today. This is part 5 on our series on mindset. And just to recap very, very quickly, we've talked about being persistently consistent. That was a quote from Zig Ziglar, persistent consistency. And I also talked about the fact that we are the sum or the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. I left that with you a few weeks ago when we started this series. I've also talked about the fact that mindset is what separates the best from the rest. So having that positive mindset, or that right mindset, if you will, is what separates the best from the rest, and that's what we want to strive for. We want to separate ourselves and create that separation. At the same time, we also want to help other people to separate themselves and to create that separation also. We talked about how that we move to where we look, and I gave you a few examples of that through my life in surfing and different things like that, cycling, that you're going to head in the direction that you look. So we want to focus on where we want to go. We want to focus on our goals or whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. That's where we want to have our vision focused on, are those goals and those places, those things that we want to get to. Also, we're going to have peaks and valleys. And we want to understand that sometimes we're going to be on the top, we're going to be strong and feeling great, and sometimes we're going to be down in that valley where things just don't seem to be going very well. And we need to realize that just constantly happens. It's like a roller coaster, and we just need to keep that mindset positive and be prepared to deal with that. And then last week I talked to you guys about how the same wind blows on all of us. It's what we do with that wind and how we perceive what happens to us. That's what matters. And ultimately it's the set of our sail, if we want to use the analogy of sailing, that we've got that same wind. One sailor is going to set the sail and use it to tremendous advantage, while another may set that sail differently and not get to their destination, or maybe where they want to get, at least not as quickly as they want to get there. So it's all in what we do with it and how we perceive it that really, really matters. And I want to build on that today in part 5, mind over matter. We're going to end this up with this week. You're going to continue to hear me talk about mindset, but we're going to kind of end it up. And again, I want to talk about the perception. We talked about last week about it's the same wind that blows on us all, and it's how we perceive our circumstances, it's how we perceive that wind, if you will. But it's all about perception and planning. And right now, I've really had to work on my mindset going through this issue with my knee. I'm a very active person. And just about everything I do is outside, it's up, it's about being active. So since Friday, I've been pretty much laid up in my chair. It's driving me absolutely insane. But hopefully today I'll be able to get all this wrapping off, and I'm looking forward to being back to work tomorrow and moving around and just getting up and getting this thing back in shape again. So I've already sat down and devised a plan. Quite frankly, I'll talk with the surgeon more today, but some of the news coming out of surgery wasn't good. There was some previous damage in there. The knee apparently wasn't that great to begin with. So I'm not sure what it holds for running, and that's a big part of my life. So already I've gone in and looked at, I love to run trails. So I've started thinking about that's going to be much easier in many respects on my knee than running on pavement and running the road. So I'm already looking at some trail races and lining some different things up. And already in my mind, I'm perceiving that I may have to move forward in a completely different way. So I've perceived at this point, I've got my perception of where I'm at and what's happening, and now I'm making my plan. And this afternoon, after I talk to the doctor, I may have a completely different plan. My perception may be a little bit different. I also believe that we have to test things. So I'm going to test this knee as we go through time, as I rehab and when I get better. And we're going to see what it can take. Maybe it can take a 5K a month, or maybe I need to run a 5K and then take a couple of months off and do some trails or do some other things. But we'll see. So we have to have that planning aspect in place. So it's our perception and it's our planning, all the while keeping that positive mindset. Now remember, guys, that it's not all about winning and losing. You know, whether it's life, whether it's an athletic competition, a race, whatever it may be, but we need to think about who are we in competition with. And really at the end of the day, we're in competition with ourselves. And in some cases, just life itself. So we want to think about where we want to get to. Make your goals, set your goals. You know, think about how you're perceiving the things that are happening to you in life, in work, in fitness, in health, in family, whatever the case may be, and then plan. I've got a little analogy I just came up with. I was writing some notes for this blog, and I wrote down that we need to plan, execute, adjust, and repeat. And of course, if you take the first letter of those 4 words, you come up with the word pair. It would have been super cool if it was something a little bit better than that. But if you just think pair, plan, execute, adjust, and repeat. That's what we have to do. We have to have our mindset. We have to have our goal. We have to get our mindset in a positive direction. Then we need to make our plan to how we are going to get to that goal with short-term goals along the way. Then we execute that plan. And when things don't go as planned, we have to make those adjustments, and then we just simply repeat. Once you adjust, you may have to plan again, or replan, if you will. And then, of course, we come back to the execute, and then again, we may need to adjust. So it's just a constant cycle. Plan, execute, adjust, repeat. So I want you guys to remember that we need to, every single day, the one thing that we need to try to do is to strive to be better than we were yesterday. I am not going to strive today to be better than you were, or to be better than my wife is, or to be better than my kids are. I'm going to strive today to be better than I was yesterday. For me, that might be taking a walk down to the corner and back when I get back from the doctor and get all this crazy wrapping off my leg. That'll be a whole lot better than I was yesterday. Tomorrow it might be walk around the block. Or, you know, it may be maybe there, you know, without a doubt I'm going to have some exercises to do. Let's complete these exercises, and then the next day let's not do 1 set, let's do 2 sets. Okay? But again, as I go through this plan and as I execute, I'm going to be making those critical adjustments to get myself to wherever I need to be. And sometimes it might be taking a little step back. I understand that with an injury. Sometimes in fitness, when we're doing these physical things, we just have to step back. I'm hoping that this time off is going to be maybe just a little time of rest that I needed, just to kind of refresh and hit the reset button, if you will. Now I'm ready to go. I'm chomping at the bit. Like, let's get this stuff off, Doc. Tell me what I got to do. Let's go. So I want to leave you guys with that. Plan, execute, adjust, repeat. And remember, guys, I want you guys all to strive today to be better than you were yesterday. Tomorrow, strive to be better than you were today, and so on and so forth. That's what it's all about. And keep a positive mindset. There are going to be peaks and valleys. Stay positive. Remember to pair, plan, execute, adjust, repeat, and you should be good to go. Guys, I hope you have an awesome week. I hope you've enjoyed and been able to get something from this series on mindset. I'll be back to you next week with a whole new topic. I've already got some things in mind for some stuff we're going to talk about in the next few weeks. But in any event, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.